What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a new podcast. I know I've said that a bunch of times in the past, but this is one that I am going to be holding to because it's kind of a little bit special to me. It's one that I'm going to do with my girlfriend, Laur.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad.
Is this like what, your like 10th time on a podcast before?
Yeah, something like that. I've lost count.
No, you're so popular.
Nah.
Well, welcome to Tokusatsu Girlfriend. Since Laur's new to the Tokusatsu community and fandom and just kind of the shows in general, I'm talking like Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, everything, this is basically going to serve as her pilgrimage into the different seasons, the different characters. And we had kind of been, thinking about it and tossing around the idea of what if we like documented this? What if we had a way that we could kind of showcase where we are and where she's going through and what she's thinking about, because a lot of us have already seen a lot of these shows, and watching them again sometimes doesn't instill the same feeling in us like the first time we watch it. So I want, hopefully, the viewers, the listeners of this podcast to sort of relive vicariously through her experiences and watching the show for the first time.
I hope I can deliver that feeling for you guys.
I'm pretty sure you can easily. So before I was ever in the picture, before you and I were a thing, we're dating, whatever. What was your previous experience with Tokusatsu? Did you know about it? Did you?
It was very, very minimal. I guess if Sailor Moon counts.
Of course it does.
Then a very extensive Sailor Moon has been my life since preschool. I can tell you pretty much every single thing about it. How it related to Tokusatsu, I couldn't tell you that because I was today years old when I found out that apparently Sailor Moon does qualify. Otherwise, obviously, grew up in the 90s. I knew what Power Rangers was, but to me, there were no different series. It was just Power Rangers.
Right,
there were no other ones. It was always, what were their names? Like Trini. And
it was hard to discern between the different seasons because it all just kind of felt like as a group.
I was in preschool, so to me it was all just the same season. The Pink Ranger's always the Pink Ranger, the same girl. I never differentiated between any of the seasons. And then I don't know. Shortly before I met you, a couple of my friends were really into Power Rangers, not so much Super Sentai, but Power Rangers. So very,
awkward.
very, very minimal knowledge of things like that. Very minimal.
Gotcha. So after having met me, having been sort of introduced, because we dated for a while before we were actually together, and you...
What does that mean?
like living in proximity to one another.
Okay, yeah. Yes, true.
Because I was all the way in California, you were all the way over here. It was basically like a whole country between us.
Pretty much, yeah.
It felt like more. But
it did.
Because you were watching and always active with my uploads and my YouTube channel... Right. What were some of your thoughts kind of formulating around like Oza's final form, just these random meme videos and shit that I kind of just put out?
Oh my God. I don't even know where to begin. I'm embarrassed to admit it now that I do have more knowledge. But I was like, oh, this is like Japanese Power Rangers. So I'm very embarrassed to admit that now, knowing what it really is. But that was pretty much my jumping off point. And then I was very surprised to learn that there were multiple Kamen Riders.
Just a few.
I had heard the term before, but I didn't.
They're all just
really...
Kabuto.
Yeah, right? That's what I thought. I had always just thought that there was one Kamen Rider, just a single guy. So I was very surprised again to learn that there are multiple different seasons. I learned, I feel like I kind of gained a base knowledge of things just by watching your videos. I learned a lot about dancing.
Oof.
Yeah. So I learned that there are dances that go along with them. And I learned that there are a lot more heroes and Kamen Riders than I previously thought.
There's a ton of them. They forget about a lot of them when it comes to
So do I.
So having been together now for a couple months, we've already watched a couple episodes, a couple seasons of things. Can you tell everybody what we've sort of watched so far? I'm kind of losing a little bit of track.
Yeah, so I think we started out watching Den-O, but I think we only got
That's right.
like, that was like the first one you showed me. But I think we only got like what, 6 or 7 episodes in before, because I was on a visit. That was before.
This is before, we were living together. That was, we only had like a day or two to watch stuff, and we were watching movies and everything else in between. I was like, well, I'm gonna bring a couple episodes of Kamen Rider with just to kind of like test the water. And I think I only brought like the first like 3 arcs, like the first 6 episodes. And we watched all those, and I was like, shit, I don't have any more. I can't get any more.
But I loved it. But it was only like 6 or 7 episodes, but I really did love it. And then once you were actually living here and we could, you know, dedicate more than just a day or two to watching Tokusatsu, we jumped into Shinkenger. Is that how you, that's how you
Samurai
say it, right?
Sentai Shinkenger.
We jumped into that, which I really loved that. That was like, I think I told you, it was the first show, series, anything where I couldn't decide like who I liked best, or just I didn't have a character that I didn't like, and that never happens for me. So I fell in love with every character. Every one of them had something to offer. I loved it. It was incredible.
If you had to pick one, I think everybody at home probably already knows, but if you had to pick one favorite character.
Ryunosuke. Oh my God, I love him. He is my salty little boy. He was so extra about everything. I just want to be his best friend. I want to hang out with him. He can show me his little kabuki show. Like, I just
little routine.
Yeah, I just want to be his best friend. He made me laugh so much. I was more invested in anything that Ryunosuke was doing versus the whole show. Like, oh my God, he made the show for me. I love him. Hands down, best boy.
We kind of have someone like that in the show that we're currently watching right now. So those are the first 2 that we watched. I showed you a little bit of Kamen Rider. There was a great time in between watching that, and instead of rewatching it, I think we just jumped into Shinkenger because I feel like Sentai is a very good jumping off point for Tokusatsu because you have the familiarity with Power Rangers, obviously. When it comes to like Sailor Moon is very much based upon Sentai with a group, a squadron.
Which well, actually, no, I did know that. I was going to be like, I didn't know that until you. It was you that didn't know that until me.
Yeah, that's
Other
true.
way around. I did know that Sailor Moon was actually created because I'm probably going to butcher her name, which I shouldn't. That's embarrassing. But Naoko, who she's the creator of Sailor Moon. She actually created Sailor Moon because she really loved Sentai, but she wanted an all-female team. And so that's kind of actually how Sailor Moon was created.
Venus, who you cosplay, is sort of like the Genta of the group. She's like the 6th Ranger almost. Yeah,
she is. And I think there was like an episode, I think, where I was like, was it Genta? I can't remember who. Oh, no, I don't want to say that. That's a spoiler. I realize. I just remember what it is. But I remember.
Yeah, if you guys have seen Shinkenger, there's obviously a character that comes in past the first couple episodes and is very much a Sailor Venus, like kind of the one in charge, sort of the rock star of the group.
I was just like, oh, they just Sailor Venus us.
Yeah. But knowing that, I always felt like Sentai was a good jumping off point. But getting back into Kamen Rider, it's hard because there's a lot of good seasons out there. There's a lot of bad seasons. There's a lot of seasons that I personally like that I know other people's don't. Like Go Under, I know a lot of people don't like, but I love how whimsical and stupid and just goofy it unapologetically is sometimes. Like, it's ridiculous, but I know people hate that. But then it kind of on the same coin, like everybody loves X8, but I thought X8 was really boring and kind of missed the point of what it means to be Kamen Rider. And I don't know. It's hard to like gauge what you're going to like, what you're not going to like, and what is worth spending 50 episodes on. Really.
Right.
So how did we even start watching Fourze? Because that's the show that we're on right now. That's what this episode's all about, is Fourze.
Which I love. I love Fourze so much. Like, by far my favorite of the 1.5 not Sentai, 1.5 Tokusatsu shows I watched.
Right.
It was because you're making that Guy Fieri meme.
I forgot
and
about
you were
that.
like making him hold a switch, and he said like Reach Out and grab Flavor Town, I think. And I was like, oh, this is funny, but I don't totally get this. And so you were like, well,
it's kind of like my whole channel to you until you slowly start realizing it. We have to go back and rewatch some episodes.
When I first stumbled upon your channel while I was stalking you before we started dating. That was my reaction to your whole channel.
We'll have a whole episode on that.
But that's kind of been our whole like relationship featuring Tokusatsu, is me being like, I don't get this, but I think it's funny. And so you were like, well, do you want to watch the first episode of Fourze? And I was like, yeah, why not? Which is also a very common theme in our relationship. Hey, do you want to watch this? Hey, can I show you this? And me being like, sure.
It's very open. Not? Like, you tell me things that you want to watch, that you want me to kind of pull up, and I kind of do the same thing, and we kind of find solace in that, and it's very nice. It's refreshing.
It is. I agree, very much so. And so that's how it started. Was you were just like, do you want to watch the first episode? And I was like, yeah, of course, because we had ended Shinkenger, like, I don't know, it's been like a month maybe or longer. I actually don't know. It's been a while, and I've been wanting to jump back in with another Tokusatsu episode. I'm trying to soak this genre up and learn as much as I can.
I'm personally just worried that Shinkenger was a fluke, and that you're gonna eventually see by watching a new season, you're like, oh, this is really fucking dumb.
No, I don't think so. I'm very eager to watch more and learn as much as I can. So I've been wanting to jump back into it. I didn't necessarily know it would be Fourze, but after that first episode, I was hooked. It had like everything that I look for. Like, it was all the niche things about me that I like combined into one show. So I was like, you didn't tell me this existed. You didn't tell me there was a Kamen Rider
about slice of life, high school living,
featuring witches for one episode, which I'm very into.
Technically too, but yeah.
Mean Girls. What else? Like
horoscopes? You're huge on horoscopes.
I'm huge on horoscopes, astrological signs.
Speaking of, Q Ranger coming up.
Yeah. We'll question mark. Yeah. I love horoscopes, astrological signs. I love space. Like, that is a big thing for me.
Are you trying to tell me something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Give me space. No.
It's space time. And then you just go to the other room.
I'm going to start saying that.
Please don't.
No, I won't. I shut up. Like, no, I won't. Yeah, no. I completely forgot it. We were talking about why I liked Fourze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horoscopes. That's space. That's what it was. Space. Yeah, I'm a space nerd.
Yuki.
Yeah.
Personified.
For real though, I feel like I'm all three of the girls just in one person. Like, I see different parts of my personality.
There's someone coming up, because who would you consider me to be more like? So far out of the cast of characters, probably Gen.
Yeah.
Don't say Kengo. Please don't say Kengo.
I won't say Kengo, because that's not what I call him. Normally I call him like something stupid, like, and you always have to be like, you mean Kengo? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's who I mean.
I can't remember right now what you usually call him. It's always like in the heat of the moment. You're just like, ugh, I don't like Kengo or something like
that. I think I call him Kingo or something. I have names for all of them. Like, I don't, there's only like a couple of them that I actually use their real names for.
I think I also am kind of like a mixture of the three boys too.
I could see that.
I'm very athletic, like Shun, which a lot of people don't know that about me. Shin. Yeah, Kamen Rider Shin. No. What is it? The creature from the Black
Lagoon. Yeah.
Very kind of like crazy personified and like very sociable when I need to, like JK. And then I'm very passionate about what I want to get things done, like Gen. And I'm very serious and I want to get things done, like on time and with purpose, like Kengo. So I feel like, kind of a mix too. But there's someone coming up in one of the movies that I feel that you'll connect with really good. She's low key kind of the best.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. So we've been talking about how this would be a great sort of idea to sort of kind of check back in every now and then. Like, we won't have to do this every week, because that would be exhausting to like watch 10 episodes a week. But we thought it would be good to sort of check in and have periodic updates, like maybe like once a month we do this podcast where we sit down and we talk about what we watched so far, typically probably in 10-episode chunk, because we can watch 10 episodes in a month.
Yeah.
Or 2
Oh
weeks,
my God. We watched 10 episodes like in a week.
We can watch like 10 episodes sometimes in a day.
Yeah.
Like those first couple days of Shinkenger, we would just like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Genta, bam, 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 bam. So while the first 10 episodes of a show usually dictate sort of the pacing and the speed, Fourze works a little bit differently. So it does introduce like the villains. It does introduce like sort of the main concepts and the main ideas. So with Fourze, when you see that intro, you see all the main characters, but very much so when you watch the first episode, he's not friends with these guys. And that's kind of the first 10, 11, 12 episodes. So that's what we've watched so far that we can kind of talk about and cover about the first 12 episodes / main characters. So it's probably easier to sort of go back through the main characters and just kind of talk about them. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Let's start with Gentaro. What do you like? What do you not like?
Well, he's almost like a Ryunosuke for me.
Yeah.
In so much as there's really nothing that I can find that I dislike about him. He's perfect. I really do. I love that's such a cop-out answer, but I really do love everything about him. He's just such a kind-hearted, genuine, lovely person, and I feel like he personifies everything that you would want in a hero. And I love how friendly he is. He just wants to make friends. How sweet is that?
That is actually pretty admirable. But do you think because he's so friendly, kind of otherworldly about it too, that it might get stagnant, that it might kind of be the same stick for the next 40 episodes?
I don't know. I guess maybe. I will say, now that I took like a second to think about it, there was that episode. Is it okay to we're talking about this stuff, so it's okay for me to talk about spoilers, right?
Yeah. So
okay.
if you guys are listening, we've watched the first 12 episodes. So if you guys can, try not to put any future spoilers in the comments or whatever. But the podcast will be discussing these episodes. It'll be in the description and everything.
Okay. Well, that episode where Jake, it's Jake, right? Because he says it's like JK, but pronounced Jake. Okay, so I'm just gonna call him Jake. Please don't crucify me for that. Because that's also actually not what I call him.
Yeah, you call him what do you call him?
I call him Ryuchaki.
Ryuchaki, because he's like Ryunosuke and Chiaki's love party child.
Yeah, like from that episode of Shinkenger
when they're like jismed.
Yeah, when they're glued together.
Yeah.
That's where Jake comes from. He's their child from that. So I call him Ryuchaki. But anyway.
Which one of those do you think carried the child?
Oh, definitely Ryu.
Okay, cool. Let's keep
definitely.
going.
No, that episode where he like totally screws over Gin, and then it's figured out. Like when it was the episode where he steals the switch from him.
The Eric switch.
Yeah, the Eric switch. That episode where he steals that from him, and then the monster of the week like outs him and is like, I'm just going after him because he used him too. JK has a history of using people. Yeah.
And he used him so that these bullies would beat him up and not JK.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that, I don't know. Again, this goes back to Gentaro being such a good, wholesome, pure person. Almost to the point of unrealisticness, because I don't know, or maybe I'm just a bad person, but I definitely would not have tried to save him after that. I would have been like, screw you, dude. You stole from me, you lied, you have a history of doing this, you're not going to do it to me again. Screw you, dude. Get your ass kicked. But he didn't. He went after him.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is like a kid show, so they really have to kind of reinforce that.
Yeah.
Gentaro would be perfect for my job.
Yeah.
TBH.
He would be. But yeah, I don't know. To be honest, that kind of annoyed me. And I hate to say anything about him annoyed me, because I really do love his character so much. He really ranks up there high for me. But I will say that did annoy me. I'm like, just because I can see him getting taken advantage of in the future, because he is so trusting and so nice and would throw himself under the bus.
I know our listeners are probably geeking out a little bit if they have seen the whole entirety of Fourze, because that is actually something that is very important that happens about the middle of the season. It has very bad consequences. really bad things happen because Gentara is so open and so friendly and so accepting of people that are clearly going to use him. And it's kind of someone that you don't really expect. And it's kind of something that I feel like when we get to that episode, you were like, it's
am I gonna melt down?
It's a definitely meltdown worthy episode. It's like 2 episodes long, and it's probably my favorite like set of Kamen Rider episodes that I've seen of all of them. Like I cried the first time I saw it. It was it's beautifully done.
My little sensitive Pisces soul is gonna be a wreck.
So, okay, we talked about Gentara. We talked about JK a little bit in his Eric episode. So let's move on to one of the girls, Yuki.
Yeah, Yuki. Oh, I love Yuki. I love Yuki so much. Just everything about her. I feel so bad because I'm like, I love Gin.
It's kind of like Shikenja, where you almost love all the characters after a while. Well, like they have a little buffer period, right?
You had asked me like to rank when we were watching Shinkenger, like rank my favorites, and like tell me like, okay, now what are things you dislike? And it was so hard for me to find things that I disliked about them because they're just such likable characters. And that's how I feel with Fourze too, and especially with Yuki. Kind of like what I touched on earlier is I see parts of myself in each of the girls. Like I don't know, maybe that's a little bit too, I don't know, forward of me to say that I feel like...
I can see it though. I definitely know what you're getting at.
Yeah, like I feel like I can see parts of myself in each of the 3 girls. And so Yuki really resonates with me, like her... just how supportive she is of Gin. And I really love that they aren't forcing a romance on the 2. I feel like that happens a lot when you've got a guy and
or like a love triangle because Tango's in there too.
Yeah, like I feel like you see that so often that it's forced. Like, oh, a girl can't be friends with a guy. There's always got to be something more. But they are just wholesome friends, and there's no sort of forced anything. And I know when we watched the movie, can I talk about the
forced?
Oh my God, shut up. Well, what I was gonna say was when and I'm gonna butcher her name. I'm so sorry. What can you say it for me? Not a
Shiko.
Not a Shiko. Shut up. When Nadeshiko showed up, and I thought, because Yuki is so like, it's obvious she wants to be, well, to me, it seems like she wants to be a Kamen Rider. Like she looks up to it so much. And like she anytime Gin is henching, she's right behind him. Like if she's present, she's doing the moves too, which I love. I think that's the cutest thing ever. She's so enthusiastic and supportive. And I've always just kind of gotten the vibe that she also wishes that she could be a Kamen Rider. And then I kind of thought that maybe it's just like from an Americanized view, when Nadeshiko showed up and then she henshined, I kind of thought, uh-oh, Yuki's going to get pissed. She's going to be jealous. She like all these negative things. And she wasn't. Like as soon as the fight was over, she ran up to her and was just like, oh my God, you're so cute. You're a Kamen Rider. This is great. And she was so supportive of her too. And I think that's really great to see. Like that she's not this like bitter, like, I want to be a Kamen Rider and this is my best friend and he's my guy, Right. She's genuinely so supportive and loving and just like, this is exciting. This is great. You're a Kamen Rider. Wow, that's awesome.
Right.
And I just love how supportive she is. I love her enthusiasm for space. Her expressions, she's so expressive.
Especially that first episode where she's like peeking around the corner and like protecting herself from like his first transformation because she's like, I don't know what's gonna happen, and she's like, well. I love all those. Those are all gifable.
I know, and so sometimes I see her make the same faces that I make on a day-to-day basis, and so I really love her. Basically summed up, I love Yuki. She's great.
What I love about Fourze is that it has such a variety of different characters. It's kind of like a Sentai in a regard. And Kamen Rider does this a lot where they have obviously the main hero and then they have a lot of supporting characters who don't really amount to anything. But I feel Fourze is the first one that even though some of them don't really amount to anything, it's never really as present as some of the other seasons are where it's like, oh yeah, you spent 50 episodes doing jack shit.
Right.
But like they do stuff, even if it's just in the background. Like they give Shun like the Powerdizer. They give Miu sort of like the, what is she, like the president of the club? Like they give them like fun things to do. Like JK's probably like the most worthless one. Sorry, on
he
the
always
team.
shows up like after the action's over.
Yeah, like in the movie, like everyone's getting their ass kicked and like blown to bits. The power dizer's like falling apart. Kengo's dying some more, and then all of a sudden JK comes rolling in and he's like, I got hurt too.
Yeah, where were you, man?
So let's move on to Miu.
Yeah. Oh,
the
God.
queen bee herself.
I love her. I love her too. I don't even really know what to say about her because I just feel like she is who she is. I really do. I don't know. I was going to save this comment for later, but I think it's apt now that we're talking about her. I think you had mentioned while we were watching it that this is very much like almost the Breakfast Club in Kamen Rider form. Like you've got all these different cliques.
The jock, the cheerleader, the goth girl, the nerd.
Yeah, you've got all these different like cliques that you saw in high school. And I don't know what high school was like for anyone else, so I'm just going to speak for me. But
mine was definitely just like this. Monsters running around.
Shut up. That's not what I meant. No, just the clique thing was very prevalent at my school. And you never saw intermingling between that. You never saw, like...
Yeah, like in the first episode, he kind of tries to immediately break that barrier. And it's not until like almost every other episode that he kind of invades this new clique, invades this new group and kind of takes someone with him.
Yeah, and it's really great to see just that happen, to see, people kind of break down those walls and be human and, come around to each other. But you know this about me. I am a major sucker for Mean Girl-esque movies. Like I love, obviously, Mean Girls. I love Heathers. I love The Craft, which is just...
I was just about to say that.
That one's my favorite because that's Mean Girls, but with witchcraft.
Weird ending though.
Well, we don't have to talk about that.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah,
we'll have a craft podcast.
Yes, please.
We'll eat Kraft mac and cheese. Sorry.
Shut up. I love Mean Girl themed things. And so when this Queen Bee comes in and she's ruling the school, she's just total, bitch to everyone. I was like, okay, so I'm here for this very much.
Was this like you in high school? You were like throwing away the love letters and the CDs of pictures of you on it that people made for you?
I was the Tomo in high school, so no.
That's true. What did you used to tell everybody, that you were a witch or something?
I did in 7th grade.
Let's talk about that when we get to Tomo.
That's so embarrassing. But yes, I did. No, Miu was more like me in college, I guess. So I see that side of myself there. Yeah, I also really like how she came full circle. That it was kind of the consequences, your actions have consequences sort of thing, and
what you learn.
And what I really liked about her, I don't know, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but she also stuck to her guns. Like at the end, instead of being like, you guys are right, I shouldn't have said those things to try and win back favor.
No, she fucking doubled down.
No, she did. And I loved that about her. She didn't just roll over and say like, I'm sorry, now everyone hates me. I'll apologize and try and get my following back. She's like, screw you, I am the queen with or without you guys.
Here's more clarification on why you guys are fucking losers.
Yeah.
Eat it.
Yeah, and I love that. I was just like, you are the queen bee we don't deserve. Right. Like, you owned that. And I really love that about her. She came in all battle scarred and everything, and
she's got battle scars, dude. That's gonna be one of our sound effects that we can put in. I got a new board that can just do sound effects like that. Well, let's not get off the subject.
You're the one that started it. Yeah, I really like that about her, that she just doubled down on it. She was like, no, these are my opinions. Sorry it came out that way, but this is how I feel. Eat it. And I really like that about her. I don't know. This kind of goes into, his name is Shun, right?
Shun.
Shun. I don't know.
Which is what they should do to him.
Well, yeah.
He's a dick.
He is.
Okay, so when I watched the show, obviously, like, I went through the same things that you're going through, but like at a week-to-week basis.
Yeah.
But I've seen the whole show, I want to say one full time at least. I've like rewatched like a couple episodes here and there because there's really good episodes in the movies, obviously. But like Shun is always a character that I'm like, yeah, he's a great guy. I love Shun. He's super nice. He's great. He uses the power dizer. He's awesome. But like you watch these first few episodes again and you're like, I totally forgot that he like dumps Mew to date her best friend who's like now the queen bee, and then like he's like, please date me again.
She's hanging out with losers.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot how like negative Nancy he is about everything, and like just
he's a dick. Can I say that?
Yeah, how pathetic he almost is in these first couple episodes, because I know him, as you guys might, as like awesome. Because he does become awesome again by the end. Like,
I hope so, because right now I am not a Shun.
Shun? Let's talk about his entrance. What do you think about him? I know he's probably your least favorite.
He is my least favorite.
Well,
yeah, that's the cutest thing about him. That's the only thing I like, that little like...
We'll get that sound effect for the board.
Okay, because right now I'm sitting here doing it, but you guys can't see me.
He's like a real life anime character.
Yeah, and I get the whole jock persona. Like, I get that, and I think that he plays up to that very well. Like, you know...
Yeah, because the first episode, Monster, happened to be someone on his team that he wouldn't let play because he sucks at football.
Well...
And how that affects him personally. Because the guy has this vendetta. And they even move into that in a couple episodes that you'll see, which is all surrounding him kind of coming back to school.
Right.
But it's very clearly, like, from episode 1 and 2, that Shun is not a good person.
Yeah.
That he very much... is a root of problem. Like, he's a bully almost.
He is. No, I completely agree. I think he's very problematic. I think that it was a big old dick move to just be like, a king should be with a queen, and like immediately like drop Mew when she was going through a rough time. Like, yeah, okay, it was probably, you know, pretty bitchy of her to do all those things, maybe, you know. But again, I agree with her double down efforts. So, you know.
Well, you kind of see it when it comes to his episode, too, that he's kind of like, that first episode, really much of a dick, but you understand that it's a family mentality that his father is really pressuring him. And I personally feel that same thing, maybe on the other side of the spectrum with my mom and everything. But it's just like, I know that firsthand. I know exactly like that a lot of my actions, the consequences that came from it were not entirely my own choice. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of like the circumstance of it. And I really love the way that they sort of show you his character, and he has the most development so far. He goes from, okay, kind of a bully because he's beating up Gentar on episode 1.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he like literally is like ramming into him, like possibly breaking arms and ribs and whatnot. Like, his dudes are holding him. Like, this is like straight up like bad.
Yeah.
And then it goes into like him just like dismissing that his teammate is basically taking like drugs to turn into a monster. Like, that's kind of what the switches are. Like, I always picture like a lot of these little gimmicks that turn him into monsters, sort of like a drug. And they kind of reference that a little bit when he comes back. Like, he needs it, like it's in his system, like it's all he can think about, you know. So that's kind of like my headcanon. But just to see his sort of, I don't know, like, what am I trying to say here? Like the his development,
transformation or whatever,
his
personal.
henshin.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
And I think him ultimately taking the power dizer over fucking sick ass Kengo.
I do like that. No, I do really like that. He is starting to grow on me. But that being said, I still, at this point, I do not think Mew should give him a chance at all. I do love that he, you know, he's still trying it. He's still like, oh, take me back. I'm in the Kamen Rider Club too now. Take me back. I was just shitting on it like for the past 20 million episodes, but now I'm in it, so it's okay. And now we can date again. And I love that she's like, you know, not having it. She's shutting him down. And I'm very here for that. It's very that. Mm-hmm. Do
you think that she'll ever take him back? Do you think that there's
I know that they're going to get back. What?
Well, I mean,
don't give me that look.
Maybe. You don't know.
I would guess. I would put money that they would.
People who have seen the show know that there's like obviously the graduation episode coming up that involves them. That's pretty heavy. And then I always picture, when I picture Shun and Mew's relationship, I always see them from the last episode where Wizard makes a cameo. And it's really
Kamen
funny.
Rider Harry?
Yeah, Kamen Rider Harry. Yes, reference. If you guys haven't watched the video with Laura and I yet, which is crazy because it's got so many views. Everyone's watching it. It's fun. People are already copying it. It's great. Shout out to Dustin. But like it's so that's how I personally perceive their relationship is from that last scene that we see. And I kind of forget everything else. Like when I think about Shun, I'm like, okay, he's in the Powerdizer. There's one episode where he like literally like flies through the air on fire, and I'm like, that's all I can fucking remember. And then the graduation episode, like those are all the scenes in my head that I'm like, oh yeah. And then I just don't know anything fucking else about Shun.
Yeah.
So we talked about her a little bit already, but let's talk about, I think maybe our favorite girl in the group. She's definitely my favorite.
No, I like Yuki best.
Oh, you're gonna love Tomo. She develops. She gets good. But we're gonna talk about Tomo, the goth girl, the witch,
the
wannabe, the weirdo. Yeah, I would say she's the weirdo. I would say Gen's the weirdo though. Okay. Gen's very much the weirdo that you don't understand, but when you do, you kind of.
Okay.
Let's talk about Tomo. What do you think about Tomo?
I like Tomo a lot. She is so like in left field. Like she is just so bizarre. But that resonates with me. Like we kind of touched on in 7th grade, I was the weirdo goth kid. I was literally the only one. I went to a fairly small school.
None of them had even heard of Hot Topic yet.
Hot Topic was up and coming at that time. And well, granted, I didn't have a uniform, but like my makeup, hair, everything looked just like Tomo. Seeing her, I'm like, oh my God, am I back in 7th grade? What is this? I didn't stand that creepily close to people. In fact, I wanted people to leave me alone and go away.
You were kind of like the mean girl witch clique.
Yeah.
In like development.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is. You
were like the main girl of that witch cult.
Yeah,
before she had followers, before she had friends, in a sense. No.
Wow, what are you trying to say about me?
I'm just trying to paint a picture for everyone.
No, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. Like if I would definitely resonate with Tomo more. Like if there had been a witch clique at my school, I would have been like, yo, sign me up. Like,
because you didn't start it.
No, I didn't. That's true. I was waiting for someone else to do it. I was waiting for those.
You're waiting for someone else to attack people in the swimming pool?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. So I could be like, magic is real. But I like her. I like also that she's not just like a one-trick pony. Like she's not just the weirdo goth girl. Like there are some episodes. I wish that I had a specific instance that I could point out. Oh, I guess the locker episode.
Yeah.
She's the one that solves the whole thing.
Yeah, like everyone's freaking out, kind of doing their own little group cluster like they have been for the last episode, which has worked out for them.
Yeah.
But then she's just like,
wait a minute.
Hold on.
Yeah, she solves stuff. Like she gets shit done.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Like she's not just like what's the word I'm looking for? She's not just like there for comedic timing,
like face value almost.
Yeah,
like she's not there just to add to the group. Like in Sentai they need a girl. Oh, Rue Soldier. Okay, we'll give them a like. Right. Did you ever hear the controversy with Kyoryuger?
I don't even know what that is.
It was the last Dinosaur Sentai, and they had it was a team with only one female, where a lot of the teams had two. And then they asked the director, and he was just like, well, they had to fight dinosaurs to get their powers. I don't think a female could defeat a dinosaur. I was like, I don't think fucking anybody could defeat a dinosaur. Right. But he only had one girl. Yeah, so I get what you mean. Like, she's not just there to be there.
Right, she's not just there to be, like, the brunt of the jokes and, like, oh, we've got this creepy goth girl. That's what Ken goes for. Exactly. I just like that they actually give her character value. Right. I think they do a great job of giving each character value and like a specific role in the group, which is I think something we kind of talked about earlier. But I specifically like that she's not, because before she joins the group, in the little like blips we would see her in, she was just kind of a joke and just kind of like, oh, this chick's freaking weird.
Right.
So I do like that now that she is like a full-fledged member of the group, she has value. she's still funny, she's still bizarre, she's still weird, but she contributes. And I really like that. Yeah.
All right, cool. You want to move on to Kengo then?
Yes.
Cool. So Kengo's introduced, obviously, in the first episode. He was going to be the successor of the Fourze drive system that his father developed before dying on the moon.
What a thing to say. Like,
what a sentence. What a life.
Yeah.
They both lived.
Huh.
And he doesn't really kind of come full-fledged until episode 11 and 12, where he is, like his father, stuck, trapped on the moon, while all the idiots are scrambling around on Earth trying to get him off. But you kind of get to see a little of the development before he becomes friends with Gen. So what do you think of Kengo? Like, what did you think of him? And then kind of like in between to where we are now before we continue watching episodes. Because I was like, we need to get this done before we watch some more.
I know. I've been trying to I want to move on and watch more, but we've needed to. It's okay.
We had to wait for the board and everything to come in.
Well, I think that he's the obvious tsundere. He's like baka, but he really loves everyone. I think he's really relatable as well, because I know if I was trapped on the moon, I would be yelling at everyone to get me the hell out of there. Like,
he really reminds me, I should say, of our cat, Mr. Miyagi.
Oh my God, that's so true.
Like Mr. Miyagi, you'll come home and he'll like rub up on your leg for a second, and then he'll be like, wait a minute, and then just run off and like constantly like run and attack you and yell at you, or come into your room and then yell at you. And
yeah, it's like, you came in here, go away.
Go away, Kengo.
Yeah, no, that is actually a very apt description. I feel like out of all the characters, though, I need more from him. Like, I need to, right now, to me, all he is, I mean, he's becoming more like you said, the last few episodes, he is becoming more, and I'm seeing more dimension to him, and he's becoming a more developed character. But prior to that, I felt like I just needed more from him. I felt like he's the character that we saw or knew the least about. Besides the fact that he's obviously got a brain tumor that I think he needs to get checked out. He's always got these headaches, and he's always in the nurse's office. I think he needs more help than a school nurse. Oh my God, shut up. No. I think that he definitely needs to seek professional medical help, and not just the school nurse at their high school. I don't know. I just felt like I needed to see more from him, besides him like getting a headache and being like, I've got to go. And like trying to, I don't know why they're like making the guy that's already half dead, like drive the, what is it, Powerdizer? Yeah,
Bumblebee.
Yeah, I don't know why they think that's a good idea.
Again, it probably, like, if I really want to jump into an answer, it's because Japan doesn't give gender roles equal weight. So, like, obviously Yuki can't use it.
But Miyu did.
But remember how bad it hurt her?
Yeah, it almost killed her.
She got a brain tumor from that too, probably.
Yeah, they should look at radiation levels coming out of that, because that might explain.
Well, good thing Shun doesn't have a brain, so that.
Yeah, that's why he's able to do it. It doesn't affect him. No, sorry.
Well, Kengo's kind of like the central character. Like, you're alluding to a lot of things, but definitely because these first episodes are trying to set the pace, but they're also introducing all of the main characters. They have to obviously give them equal weight with 2 episodes each. And I think Gentaro takes up a lot of that, because we want the viewers, the kids, to be on his side, to like stick with him for the year. And if he's kind of shifty or shady, you're going to lose a little bit of numbers, because that's kind of what O's did a little bit. Like, O's kids really liked it at first, but then it was kind of like they were introducing and doing all this other stuff with the other characters, and not a lot of Eiji. So like the numbers fluctuated weirdly until Birth showed up and kind of redirected that back with Eiji and Onk. Yeah, you don't know anything about what I'm talking about.
I'm literally sitting here just smiling and nodding, and I'm like, what is he saying?
But Kengo is basically like the sort of like central character, like the one that the story really will gravitate and revolve around.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard to kind of see it now, but he is very much like next to Gentaro, the main character of the show.
Oh, wow. Because I definitely... Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, it's you can't really tell right now.
I definitely I don't know. This is really silly, but like I try to kind of like equate things back into like Sailor Moon terms, or like, you know, to help me understand and grasp stuff. And he just really strikes me as the Sailor Mars to Gen's Sailor Moon, you know, like.
Was there ever a time where Sailor Mars ended up like saving everybody and it's just like, oh, now we understand her worth?
Yes, actually, my favorite episode of Sailor Moon. Yes, she does.
It's my favorite episode of Fourze, but Kengo really steps up and saves everybody, and it's fucking glorious.
Well, that's what happens in that episode of Sailor Moon. So,
it's so good.
My illusion of Sailor Moon, Sailor Mars, Sailor Kingo.
Sailor Kingo.
Sailor Kingo is accurate, it sounds like. And I would like to cue that Monique gif. I would like to see that. I would like to see it.
So overall, those are the main characters. Those
yes.
are kind of the first 12 episodes. I know we've kind of talked a little bit about it, but what are your thoughts overall? Like, where do you see this show going? I know I talked about that a lot when we watched Shikinger, because I'm very curious, having already gone on that path myself, having already seen the episodes. I've seen Shikinger a handful of times, like the whole thing. I friggin' love that show.
I know.
But I want to kind of see it from your point of view of like what you might see, what you think might happen.
Oh, God. Okay. But it's a little hard to say. I mean, I know we're 10 episodes in, but it still feels
like 11, 12-ish.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, that's right. I'm so used to being like 10 episodes when we do a podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
So it still feels early, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't feel like we're
almost a fourth of the way through.
I know it, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, watching an episode or two and being like, well, what do you think is going to happen? But we really have, like, you know, we're wading in those waters at this point. I definitely, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? I want to see more of the teacher. Oh my God, what is his name?
Mr. Osugi?
Yes, I love him. Oh my God, I love him. I love characters like that. Like, that is just, you know, the pinnacle for me.
Yeah.
He is just so funny. Like, he's such a doofus. I feel like that's the best word to describe him.
His obsession with Miss Sonoda, is that her name?
Yeah, which that was a whole, like, other thing, you know? So I feel like he might, I don't know, I hope that he plays a much larger role. Because right now he does seem just like the comic relief. And maybe that's how he'll stay. Who knows? I could see him going down a dark path because of his obsession with Sensei Sonoda. Is that her name?
Yeah, Sonoda. I mean, you kind of gave me a look when, I don't remember what episode it was, but like she asked him what his sign was.
Oh my God, I love that scene. He's like, I'm a Scorpio.
And it's like all like broody darkness. Like, any thoughts on that? Anything?
You led me to believe that he was Scorpio because of your vague comment. Huh? And you were like, what did he just say? What did he say? And I'm like, this guy is Scorpio? No, he can't be. And then I was believing it. Like, for the rest of the episodes, I was like, wow, I can't believe that's him. I can't believe this is the same guy because of you.
What about the principal? What do you think of the principal? Or I shouldn't say the principal. I should say the director of the school, like the school.
That's the one that Yuki went and like spoke with, right? When they were trying to get
Kengo back. Yeah. They were going to do a manned mission to the moon to save him. He's also the one with the red eyes who's controlling the horoscopes, as they call them, like the main zodiarts. And also the guy who killed Kengo's father.
Oh, yeah. So
in the very first scene of the show.
Yeah. I'm sorry if it's already been touched on, but how much do we know about Kengo's father? Like,
that he created the Fourze system, the switches.
Do we know like why or anything at this point?
Nope.
Okay.
We find out, I believe, relatively soon after a new character will be introduced soon, which I'm so excited for you to see that.
Oh, I can't wait. I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I feel like he obviously is very integral. He obviously knows, I don't know, maybe this is a stupid thing to say. He obviously knows about Fourze. Mm-hmm. So I think that has obviously, you know, Fourze's creation, like going back to Kingo's dad, he obviously has something to do with this, whether it's like he's trying to steal the switches himself or, you know, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
There's always a connection between the villains of the show and then the heroes using a similar or modified power. Right. Goes back to the original series where they created a grasshopper man to join the leagues of all these other evil, like robotic soldier, like half human cyborg people, and then he became the Kamen Rider. Yeah. Like Double, they use Gaia memories, which are like USB memories that they stick into themselves, but then Double uses like ones and a belt to kind of filter out all the negative effects. Okay. So it's kind of like that, where they have the switches that we've seen versus the Astro switches. But what are your just kind of final thoughts? What are your hopes for the show? Is there anything that you want to see happen? Is there anything that you hope happens, maybe?
Oh man, I should have been thinking more about this one. Because honestly, I'm just kind of like living in the moment with this show. I'm just like really here for it in terms of like just taking it episode by episode, which I know is like kind of a cop out, kind of, I don't know, not that climactic of an answer. But I'm just really living episode by episode. I think, because I think every episode changes the story like so much. It's not just like, I don't know, like for example, with Shinkenger, there were a few episodes where I'm like, okay, this didn't really...
The filler episodes.
Yeah, the filler episodes where I'm like, this didn't really progress the plot. Nothing really changed. You could take this episode out and the overall storyline would stay the same. But with Fourze, so far at least, it seems like every episode, like if you took one out, it would be like a piece of the puzzle that's missing. So it's really hard to kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm just not creative enough, but it's really hard to think about like, okay, well, what's going to happen next? What do you see in the future happening? Because it changes every episode. I guess I would hope to see, the group coming together even more. I feel like they're already a great group of friends. And with the movie, seeing them work together, I don't know how much of the movie I'm supposed to talk about.
We've seen the movie.
Okay. I'm sorry. I ruined that. I really liked in the movie seeing them work together. Right. Like that was incredible. Like, you know, just like they said, like after Nadeshiko, is that how you say your name? For the most part? Enough, yeah. Close enough, yeah. After Fourze she too. Got... Yeah. After she got, I don't know, vaporized, for lack of a better word. And he was just, you know, obviously very verklempt about that. And, you know, didn't have it in him to really like fight, understandably so. And then they all came together and they were like, you know, you've always been there for us. You've always fought for us. Now we're going to fight for you. And, you know, even though they're not Kamen Riders, they're not heroes, you know, in quotes. Yeah. They still show that, you know, you don't have to be a Kamen Rider to be a hero. You know, they were using the power of friendship, which I think is a huge theme.
It's the theme of the show.
Exactly.
There's, like what I was telling you, like the really sad episode that comes up. It literally defines the whole show. It defines all of them. Yeah. Because the power of friendship literally makes the impossible happen.
And I love that. I love that the show doesn't forget what its theme is, you know? And I love that. So I would like to see more things like that where,
You're going to love the ending then.
Oh, good. That's what I would like to see more of, even though they aren't, you know, technically Kamen Riders. I love that Shun gets in the power dizer. I love that. You're smiling. Did I say something bad?
No, I just love that you are eating this up.
Oh, I thought that maybe I mispronounced something. I love that he gets in that, you know, and uses that. I loved that the girls all, you know, like in the movie, the three of them were like, girl power, and they immediately got blown up. But yeah, that happened to them. But I love that they all work together. Like they are like, it's Kamen Rider Club. It's the Kamen Rider Club. And that is so much more than just, we're supporting our friend. It's like, you know, they're Kamen Riders too, even though they don't have the switches, they don't henshin,
Well, in the movie, they even all start off as Kamen Riders for their play. Remember?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It kind of alludes to that fact that they are all separate, but also work as one.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah. So all that to say, I would really like to see more of them working together in a superhero capacity instead of just like cheering him on from the sidelines, but actually, getting in the battle and helping him out as much as they possibly can. I would like to see more of that. I would definitely want to see more of Mr.
Osugi.
Osugi, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I definitely want to see more of him. He oh my God.
You will. Probably too much.
He cracks me. Oh God, maybe not. I was going to say he cracks me up. And I am particularly excited to see Pisces.
Oh yeah, like the main villain astrology signs.
Yeah, I really, I'm here for the other astrology villains, but I particularly want to see Pisces since that's my sign.
So the guy who directed the movie, the Fourze section of the movie, Koichi Sakamoto, I'm pretty sure he directed that. He's the one that went on to work for Q Ranger, which is the astrology symbol. Okay. So there's a lot of good connections there that I feel like if you do end up really digging this, that Q Ranger might be the next one we go to, because I haven't seen the ending of Q Ranger. Oh,
maybe that would be a natural one to go into.
I think I got to where they introduced Ho-Oh Soldier, and I was just like, nah, I'm good. But awesome. So that's a really good, I think, place to stop.
Okay.
I think this is a really good place to sort of let it breathe, have the capacity that it does, and then definitely we will be watching the next few episodes.
I'm so excited now.
You know what's coming up, right? You've already know who he is at least, and the
secondary writer.
Yeah,
Meteor.
Yeah,
and I love his outfit.
His outfit is fucking ballin'. It's
all about the outfits for me. I'm a cosplayer, so I'm always, anytime I see an outfit, I'm like, how can I make that? Right. How can this be translated into real life? I get a kick out of really good costumes.
I just love his belt.
Yeah, that belt.
It's like a solar system disco belt.
It's everything.
It's amazing. But you guys, thank you so much for tuning into this first episode of this podcast of Tokusatsu Girlfriend. I had a lot of fun.
I did too. I really hope that I didn't upset anyone, like say the wrong things or anything like that.
No,
I'm really into this. I'm just very new, so I'm still learning. Be patient with me.
I'm sure we will. I mean, you look at how great everybody on the video has been so far.
Everyone's been so nice. I was kind of worried.
I was too.
I was very worried. For multiple reasons, and I don't want to upset anyone because I know how important this is to everyone. Obviously all the Tokusatsu fans, Kamen Rider fans, I know how important it is, and I want to give it the respect that it definitely deserves and the respect that all the fans deserve. And
I think that's key.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't want anyone to think that I'm just making a joke of this, even though some of my answers were probably not that serious, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. But anyway, guys, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
For hanging out. I know this one went a little bit long. We're going to hopefully try to reel them in a little bit, but it's the first one. It's kind of fun. It's a little celebration. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys will tune back in for the next one where we talk about the next 10 episodes that we're going to watch.
I'm so excited.
Meteor's introduction with a couple of crazy things happening with some of the monsters, if I can remember. But guys, I'm Squall Charlson. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Laur. Still here.
I kind of sprung that on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't planned my outro yet.
Oh, okay. We'll work on it. It'll get better. We have plenty of episodes to go.
Yay. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.